Thanks so much for joining us for Impact State of Mind. My name is John Paul Parmigiani. I'm co-founder and CEO of Impact Hub Newark Metropolitan area. This session, Global Markets, Siracusa, Italy, we are joined by Maria Clotilde Notarbartolo, who is a community manager of Impact Hub Siracusa from Italy. Clo, so great to have you on today. Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm excited to be here. Ciao, JP.
So I was wondering if you could maybe give us first an overview of the ecosystem.
Of course. As you know, Sicily is a small island in the middle of the Mediterranean. We are the southest part of Europe. If you give a look at the map of the Mediterranean, you will discover that Sicily is lower than North Africa. So we are really the southest part of Europe. Sicily is a small island with a great diversity in itself. The soul of the provinces is very different one from the other. There are some which are much more entrepreneurial than others. There are some which are where the awareness for sustainability and all the topics around it, areas in which agriculture is still the engine of the economy. So this is exciting because you never get lazy. There are so many things to be done and to do that it's quite interesting. Regarding our community, for example, we have a lot of people interested in mobility, trying to find solution to switch to a more sustainable and smooth mobility. We have startups dealing with energy and trying to push for the transition from fuel to eco and efficient standards. And of course, we have a lot of enterprises and startups dealing with agriculture, because Siracusa area, for example, is agriculture field is it's a very important and still very powerful. So both innovation and both the social and the environmental join together to try to change somehow and to innovate a system which is a traditional system. So one of those which is very hard to innovate. The old generation are still there, and it's not easy for young people to push to enter this kind of field, but it's very interesting, and there are many trying to find solution in this direction. And of course, tourism is another of the main topic in Sicily. We are always going far away from the old style of tourism, switching to experience, to think tourism as a full experience, a human experience, and of course with slow times and going to sustainable ways of both of offering and of receiving touristic services. So this more or less is the structure of our ecosystem.
Got it. And maybe could you situate for people, how big is Siracusa? And
size, the living person are more or less 200,000.
All right.
Maybe a bit less than this. It's a very small place.
Got it. Well, 200,000 sounds pretty decent, in size, right? With the COVID crisis, how have things evolved there? How has the innovation community been affected? What are some of the experiences that you all have been through in the last, 4 or 5 months?
First main, is the lockdown experience. I was born in 1974, and it was totally out of my mind. I've never even thought about something like this. So all of us went through an experience that is, let's say, incredible, huge from many points of view. And many things have happened during this period. I think that it's a great opportunity, this pandemic situation, it's a great opportunity to really reimagine possible futures. I mean, I say it in a plural way, because I really don't think we have a unique recipe, which is the right one in opposite to something that is only wrong. I think that all of us, is required to all of us to start reimagining different possible futures and to come together to try to find solutions. So the opportunity of changing what we all thought it was wrong in that all normality, what we were used to call normality, but we understood it was a big part of the problem. And of course, our thematic in Impact Hub, maybe somehow the awareness of other people are coming in our direction. So sustainability and social innovation became mainstream, maybe, hopefully. And of course, I felt, and a lot of people here felt the need of joining together, of coming together and try to face and maybe finding together solutions. This is what happened, for example, to us at Impact Hub Siracusa, because in Italy, we have a specific situation with the impact hubs, because in all the national level, we have 8 impact hubs in 8 different regions. And what we did from the beginning of the lockdown is to come together with a weekly update call to exchange, to understand what was going on in the other cities, in the other impact hub. And we found that there were so many things that were similar and that probably could give us the chance to think together to possible solution. So this is exactly what we've done. We came together, we created Impact Hub Italia. So we joined together. The first thing we've done is creating a website, which is impacthub.it. And the easiest part to put together was the part of events. Because of course, this strange situation in which it doesn't matter anymore in which city you are. We are closer, even among us, Sicily and New York, each of us is maybe in its own house, but still we are closer. And this is one of the magic part. So we understood the events could be easy to have an online event calendar together. And so this is the starting point of something that is growing fast, because we are starting to shape partnership at the national level. We are starting to shape programs. 8 impact hubs for one community, with starting to have many things to do together, much more than ever. So once again, pandemic became an opportunity. It's not a cynic way of looking at it, but you know, we are makers, we are innovators. We need to find opportunities where maybe others only see barriers and lockdowns, and we don't want to leave ourselves just in the wave of fear. We want to, you know, have the strength of reimagine, that word come again. And then, of course, also the small and micro enterprises understood they absolutely have to reshape their business models. most of them need to do it quickly. So they need to acquire tools and expertise to manage with this change they need to effort. And the nice part is that we can appreciate some shy movement of awareness also in those Jurassic places, which usually are the public administrations, the political level. In Italy, but maybe it's not just an Italian situation. These are huge organizations which are very slow in changing. But somehow this incredible huge situation pushed also them in starting to rethink their position and their maybe also their ability of being creative and think of the population as a community, taking responsibility on it, and maybe learn to listen a bit more.
Are a lot of businesses closing? What is the, what is the mood?
Of course, we, JP, we are lucky because somehow we deal with people that has the seed of innovation and change inside. And this somehow is make our position a lucky position. What I see is that the entrepreneurs around us, our ecosystem, our community, they are all really engaged and committed to make changements that are useful for all the community, not only our, the general community, other regional or even broader. And so this is very enthusiastic to me because we don't feel alone kind of pushing them. We are also following all the things that are happening, and fermentation is, it's really sparkling. Of course, there are some that are a bit, the crisis exists. So we don't want to forget that there are also important difficulties, but still I don't think that the general mood is just to stuck in the difficulties. I think that reaction is the best part and it's the strongest part.
Got it. And what would be some opportunities for New Yorkers to either collaborate, scale, be engaged in general in the social impact ecosystem in Sicily, in Siracusa?
That's a great question. I think that absolutely yes. There are so many things we can do together. Well, I don't know. First of all, I would say that today there are so many people traveling around the world as digital nomads, because most of us just work in our laptops. So wherever we are with a nice Wi-Fi connection and kind of an entourage which is inspiring and nice, we can do many things. And this is something that it's happening already in our community from many years now. There are many digital nomads coming from all around the world, also from United States to Siracusa and to Sicily, because they find exactly what they need: nature, economic system, sparkling economic system, and many things that need to be done. Sicily is one of the places that still really has to grow, and it's visible that there are many things that can be done. So, you know, when you come from outside you see things with those eyes that could be very interesting, because it's another point of view. It's a New Yorker point of view that comes and see what's in Siracusa or in Sicily. All of them, whenever some arrive, they arrive with one position, but then they switch. And there are many people that then stay. There is, for example, one French girl, she arrived here as a digital nomad working for a few months. Then she decided to live in Sicily, and she's part of our community since, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. And now she's an entrepreneur working with all over the world. And this is something that really happened. And we push a lot with digital nomad programs, like to support with co-working space, with accommodation, with experiences. As I told previously, the most requested is the one related to cooking, of course. So this is, I consider the digital nomad programs a great starting point to understand the potentiality that, the inner potentiality in Sicily, and to grab some of them. So I invite all New Yorkers to come over and start to give a look around. And of course, we are there to support. So we are absolutely ready and glad to support whoever would like to do something. And during this pandemic, something that we created is online and free service, is a 30 minutes free consultancies. We call it digital coffees, because it's kind of a time, it's like, let's take a coffee together online. So of course, also from New York, we would love to receive some coffee, some requests for digital coffee. So to start to have some initial, maybe, you know, chat to understand in what kind of area they are involved, or what would they like to be involved in. There is a lot to do from the impact point of view. So we are open and so happy to hear and to listen. And me too, I'm personally looking for partners. So whoever wants to create a sustainable farmhouse in Sicily, I'm looking for partners. So reach out to me.
Wow.
And there are many, many things. So I don't know where to start. For example, one project that I would love to be supported is the one of, the name is Archimede Solar Car. It's a group of engineers, Sicilians, all of them are Sicilians. They created a solar car, a car that goes only with solar power, the power of the sun. And they did it with a crowdfunding campaign that we supported. And the incredible is that they were able to participate to a great championship, I don't know how to call it, in Belgium, and all other cars costed millions of dollars or euros, whatever, and their car was built with a lot of passion, a lot of work, but only 30,000 euros. And they concluded all the circle, the thing that I have to do, and nobody believed it possible. And another incredible thing to me is that the most part of the car is built with 3D printing. So it's eco on the, I don't know, 80% of it. And so now they want to improve the car. So they will probably launch another crowdfunding campaign to go to the next level, and it will be incredible to have the sustain also of whoever around the world. Also because what they say, the philosophy is that they would be glad to give for free the patent of the car to whoever, but the condition is that it has to be sold to a fair rate, so everybody can buy it, and that the production, the industrial production, has to be done in Sicily. I think that these are good conditions.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And, to recap, I would be very happy to have a digital coffee, but I'm sure the coffee in Sicily is much better than the digital one that I'd share with you that I make here at home. So
we should have called digital espresso, maybe.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But in the meantime, I was wondering if you could just maybe highlight some more of the work that the Impact Hub is doing in Siracusa, and maybe any other STAR members that are doing some really interesting work that people should be aware of.
Yes, at the Impact Hub Siracusa, we participate, we think about being in the middle of Mediterranean Sea as an important part of our DNA. So we look at all the basins, both the European and the African part, to do things together, because we really believe that, we strongly believe that there are things that need solutions that come from different parts, climate and biodiversity and so many more, social enterprises. For example, about this point, we are dealing with a project which is a cross-border cooperation project. It's called ENISIE, and it's an Interreg funded by European Union, and it's between Italy and Malta, two of these big islands in the Mediterranean Sea. And it deals with supporting social enterprises in the field of e-health, sustainable tourism, once again, and food. But we, of course, manage this project at a Mediterranean level. So it's broader than Sicily and Malta. We are creating with a platform, you can find it in the internet, it's called Koine. You find it koine.net. It's a platform that try to support networking and exchange among all the European, the Mediterranean area, among social enterprises, public sectors, and freelancers. It's a way of starting to create those first human relations, because we strongly believe that human relations are an important starting point to create whatever other economic, professional, other relationships. So this is an important thing that we are doing, we are supporting what we are doing a lot in this period. As I told you, there are a strongly need of micro and small enterprises to reshape their business models. So we are delivering a lot of services in this, trying to help and support enterprises and entrepreneurs to switch to sustainable models in both in the three, we call it the three bottom lines of the sustainability, so environmental, social, and of course economic, which seem to be, it seems to be simple, but it needs to engage and be committed So maybe sometimes we all need support, and this is one of these cases in which we know that people and enterprises need support. Many things that can be, I think, interesting. We are, for example, supporting also startups in the agriculture and rural areas. In particular, we love to support net of enterprises. Finally, we are starting to understand that being together make everybody stronger. This was something that was not exactly in our Sicilian DNA, but it was a great limit. It was a barrier for the general growth. And so something is moving from this point of view, and we are supporting and facilitating this kind of processes, which are both cultural, social, and economic processes. So we are facilitating and delivering services and programs to help many startups. And let's say it's not kind of, maybe startups in this case, it's not the right word. There are more kind of traditional enterprises that innovate. It's a little bit different.
Great. So that sounds all amazing. I want to be cognizant of time. We do have some questions from the audience, from Joel Henry, who is a long-term dedicated Impact Hub member of various kinds, who asks, are there any projects regarding water usage in Sicily, especially given the role of agriculture in Sicily?
Many years ago at this point, it was maybe 2014 or 15, I don't remember exactly. We organized a startup weekend focused on the usage of water. And there were many ideas that came out from that weekend. But there is incredible but true, there is a German guy that is around in Sicily and that decided that Sicily is his second hometown, that is fond of water-related projects and whatever. I don't have a specific project that I could point out right now, but it's something that it comes out always when we talk about agriculture, because we know that one of the big, huge problem is the storage of water, the capability of the soil to store water beside oxygen. So I will answer to the member of Impact Hub New York that it would be glad to share about this topic and maybe to hear from him what kind of, what can he think could be done about this huge problem. We are here once again. Don't forget about coffee, digital coffee, and let's talk about it. Maybe I can ask the German guy to join us for this digital coffee.
Well, I have a feeling he's going to take you up on this.
Yeah.
And I want to be cognizant of time. We're basically at the end of our time frame, but his second question was around the implementation and the effectiveness of the Italian Startup Act. Is it working? Are people using it?
Let's say that I think one of the main characteristics in Italy that, as you for sure know, is one of the countries that has the number of the most high number of laws. And many of them are in contradiction one to the other. So from one side, this act is interesting, but still it doesn't help that much the situation. I mean, it's not the solution to any problem. And I want to say that whatever you want to do, you have to study to understand which are the laws that allowed you to do what you want to do. It's not established that the one that comes to your mind as the most obvious is the good one. So maybe it depends on what you want to do. This act could be effective and useful, but it's not the only one, and it's not for sure the secure solution. So we have to make a mix of things. And moreover, of course, we know that when you want to innovate, you cannot ask for permission and you cannot stay inside all the laws. If we did that, we maybe still have the wheel
as a square.
this shape.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for having the session with us today. This was amazing to have you on and to learn more about Siracusa, and it sounds like there are going to be a lot of digital coffees for you to have. So I hope you can deal with the caffeine surge.
Hopefully, absolutely. And I'm waiting for you too, JP, you know.
So I will be coming when the barriers are down. You can count on me. Ciao tutti, and everyone have a great week. Thanks so much for coming to the session.
Thank you.